welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I am your host, Don, and today we are going to talk about Titanic 666 on Tubi. Titanic 666 is a movie made by Asylum, which is a company that's famous or infamous for making mockbusters. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the phrase or term mockbusters, mockbusters are movies that have a similar title and box art to blockbusters. The idea being that they can cash in on like the name and the familiarity of the look in order to make money. Apparently it works because Asylum's been doing it since the early 2000s and they're still doing it. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Titanic 666. So as per usual on Let's Talk Spoop, we break things down into 6 separate categories. Those 6 separate categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and creep. So starting with the story, man, I messed my intro up today. Good lord. Starting with the story, it starts with people falling to their death, like in the original Titanic. Men and women get separate, or man and woman get separated. She gets forced into a lifeboat, finds her guy, and is pulled under by his ghost or ghoul of some sort. So like the opening sequence is to kind of give you Titanic, but also spoopy, right? So we fast forward to Titanic III is about to set sail on the original intended voyage of the Titanic. Not really sure what happened to Titanic II. I did some research. It turns out that Titanic 666 is a sequel to Titanic 2, which is not a sequel to the original Titanic, but is a mockbuster of the original Titanic made by Asylum Film. So it's a sequel to their own mockbuster. Yeah. We get introduced to the crew and security. The head of security is not happy, foreshadowing about safety. There's apparently a death pool in Vegas on whether or not people make it, which made me CQ2TM. That's chuckle quietly to myself. We're also introduced to some sort of streamer girl who is riding for the views. Then we get a creepy looking redhead who climbs out of someone's luggage, which you see in the trailer here, and starts setting up something mysterious. She's wandering around up to something. She creepy girl creepily hugs a creepy violin, and accuses this dude of desecrating the tombs of the first victims. So there's a character in the show or movie who is a complete d-bag. That's him right there. He is a complete d-bag, and he was apparently on the crew that salvaged the Titanic. So he's like got all this Titanic memorabilia that he is like showing off on Titanic 3 and also selling to people. And so that's what the girl, that's right, that's the girl, and that's the guy right there. That's the girl that's accusing him and stealing his stuff. And then that guy was the guy that desecrated the tombs, essentially. Then we're seeing it right here actually, this girl performs a ritual and summons ghouls to surround the boat, and then all hell breaks loose. Yeah, so 3 out of 5 for story. I enjoyed this story. I mean, it's not incredibly original, but it's also kind of original. So I liked it. 3 out of 5. Acting. The streamer girl. She says things like amazeballs and wowzers. And my personal favorite was, we don't need his vibrational frequency around us. Which I thought was funny. Really got into the character. The acting wasn't amazing, but it was enjoyable. So 3 out of 5 for acting. Music, nothing special to report. 2.5 out of 5 for music. Atmosphere, this is surprisingly engaging of a film, given the premise. So, yeah. 3.5 for atmosphere. Look, the ghosts are clearly CGI, but it's not like a jarring CGI. And then the interior of the boat looked pretty realistic, I guess. I believe it. So 3 out of 5 for look. Finally, creep. This movie is not creepy, really, or scary, but not laughably bad, like I expected it to be. So for creep, I give it a 2 out of 5. So you tally up those scores, you do some math, and you get a final value of 2.8 skulls out of 5 for Titanic 666 on Tubi. Speaking of a silent video, Jeremiah and I have been discussing, and sound off in the comments if you like this idea. We have been discussing the possibility of doing a review, but not really a review, just kind of like a retrospective, I guess, on the various Asylum mockbusters. There are a lot of them. If you guys are interested in that idea, please sound off in the comments and let me know. Also, I'd like to give a special thank you to Tanya and Lauren for my new intro animation. I hope you guys enjoy that too. Okay, thanks, bye.